What's up, everyone? It's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. Please follow my Instagram at RussoLifts, just in case something happens to this YouTube channel. You can follow, message, and you can watch my daily story content on Instagram. I'll see you there. What's up, everyone? It's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. Welcome back to the channel. This is a topic video discussion, so I hope people post in the comments down below their thoughts. I'm going to lay out my personal thoughts, but just to give you an update on how the cut is going. Currently weighing in around 241, 242 in the morning. The cut is going pretty well. My metabolism is definitely very damaged, like I talk about in the last vlog. So if you are just stopping in, make sure you watch the last vlog to see what happened to me and why I've been stuck at 250 pounds for a while, but slowly getting the fat off. Again, I don't want to, do too much too soon, right? That's a big thing, a big mistake in my opinion that I see a lot of people do with cuts is they start off with a ton of cardio. They cut their calories a shit ton. What happens, right? Where do you go from there? Like, I need to start slow, really keep my calories as high as possible, utilize the cardio to get into a caloric deficit, not the calories, and keep my strength and hold my strength as I come down in weight. And so far I've been doing that pretty easily, but it's just taking a long time. The weight's not coming off as fast as it would as if I had my normal metabolism before COVID and pyramided back down back then. But it is what it is, and I'm slowly getting there. Goal is still to get to 225, and I see that happening within the next 2 months. So I will keep you guys updated on the cut. But today I wanted to talk about, just in general, what I'm seeing in the fitness industry these days is that enhancement is more quote unquote socially acceptable. So I'm going to talk about what I saw when I first got into bodybuilding, enhancement, PEDs. I've always had a fascination for PEDs. I studied PEDs as I was a long distance runner, way before I ever took any. I remember I read William Lelland's first anabolics book, and I was always in the bodybuilding forums trying to learn as much as I could before deciding to even go into weightlifting. As I was distance running, I just personally like anything that increases cognitive performance, spiritual performance, or obviously physical performance. I always wanted to learn. I found it interesting, but back in the day it was very difficult to get good information, and everyone wanted to hide it, right? So you had clothing companies using juiced up people claiming natural to sell clothes. If you would go up to a bodybuilder back then and ask them what they were taking, they would sell you some mass gainer or some shit. It was very behind the curtain, right? PEDs were behind the curtain, whether that was to quote unquote protect the youth is their thoughts, or to keep the shroud of lies going to sell supplements, which in my opinion that's what it is the actual supplements, which most of them in my opinion don't do much, was the whole reason to hide the PEDs behind the curtain, and only the certain people get to figure out. That's how it was back then. And like I said, you would have to dig through the bodybuilding forums where you didn't really know what the person looked like or what experience they had. It was just random people talking about PEDs, and then you had like Boston Lloyd is probably like the one outlier that came out completely, and he was a very polarizing character, still is, but back then extreme polarizing character, to where I think if he came out nowadays he wouldn't be nearly as polarizing in my personal opinion. So that's how it was back in the day. What I see now, personally in my opinion, is a lot of people are determining it's a long-term clout move to come out and be completely transparent, or to come out and not be a fake natural anymore, or to actually talk about PEDs versus not talking about it. I don't know what facilitated this switch. Maybe it's the people calling out is he natty or not videos that are causing this switch, but I've really noticed it a lot, right? There's so much PED content compared to when I first started. And again, I was one, I'm not going to brag about myself that much, but when I came out about, documenting my SARM cycle, I was met with so much negative criticisms. I understand I didn't look enhanced back then, and people can argue I don't look enhanced now even though I have cannonball delts, but back then it wasn't really about me, looking enhanced. It was just about me documenting what I took to achieve my progress, and I never wanted to lie. And I just wanted to generally document what happened to me. And it was met with so much criticism back in the day, back before I was sponsored by anyone, back when I just generally documented my cycles showing what I took. Now you fast forward to these days and people are being praised for it. People are being glorified. Thank you so much for not lying. I don't know where this switch happened or why this switch happened. I'm obviously happy that people are more transparent. People are willing to not lie and deceive people, and just in general are more open to discussing the risks they're taking with enhanced bodybuilding, discussing, everything that goes on with that and how it's different from natural weightlifting, natural powerlifting. Enhanced bodybuilding is a totally different animal, requires a totally different type of training if you're trying to bodybuild. And, I'm glad that it's being shown to light to give the general people more information on, hey, maybe I shouldn't train like the juiced up dude. He trains completely different from how, a natural should train. And I can go into that in a different video, but I noticed it a lot, right? So my question to you guys is, what do you think facilitated this change? Do you think it was the people calling out all the fake natties? Do you think that overall the fitness industry is tired of the overall shroud of lies? Like, the information is there on the internet anymore. It can't hide. Back in the day, like when I first started, where it was just getting out on the internet. Now that the internet is out, it's the equalizer to where everyone knows about PEDs, because now you have this massive switch to where, in my opinion, everyone is messing around with enhancement, right? I'm not talking about juicing themselves to the gills, but everyone is utilizing a mild cycle. Everyone is playing around with a synthetic androgen, and it's a lot more common, right? It's not taboo. I feel like the taboo has slowly been broken to a point where it's very quote unquote socially acceptable. So where do you see this heading? Because it's only going to get worse, right? You have tons of bodybuilders coming out talking about it, and this is going to lead to a generational switch, which in my opinion is for truth and transparency, which I like. But I don't know, I'm concerned about the extremeness that bodybuilding is getting to. And I know people think I'm extreme, but just seeing the cycles that people are personally messaging me with, it has me concerned. And where is the line going to be drawn with PEDs and bodybuilding? Is it going to be drawn? These are questions that no one wants to directly ask, right? You have the top of pro bodybuilding getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You have more guys pushing the pharmacology harder and harder to try and keep up with the quote unquote Mr. Olympia. And that's the Mr. Olympia, right? That's the, steroids have to be involved, in my opinion, with open bodybuilding for 95% of people. If they want to achieve a open level physique, you really need to utilize PEDs. But really, it's the average gym goer now has information on synthetic androgens, and that is really where the tides are turning, right? Are there going to be any natties left? Because looking like the way it's going, no. And overall, I just want to know where you guys see this heading, right? I've been getting tons of messages of these insane cycles, which blow my mind. And if you think my cycles are big, oh man, you should see some of the shit people DM me that they're taking. This is the problem, right? The truth and transparency leads to over abuse, and that education needs to be brought into light on the consequences more from the actual athletes, in my opinion, right? Anyone with a medical degree can tell you about the side effects, but people listen, for example, like when Rich Piana said it how it is. So that's the way I see it heading. Where do you guys see it heading? I personally am super excited to see what happens to the fitness industry within the next 3 years. I think there is a massive switch going on compared to all the years I've been in it. I've been a fan of it and I've observed it. So that's my thoughts. I want to hear everyone's thoughts down below. Are PEDs more socially acceptable, and when and where do you see the fitness industry heading at what time, I guess. Hope everyone is doing well. I will see you in my next video.